You know, one of the things I hate so much about these kind of videos is it feels like my critiques, the critiques of the left, are just dealing with dumb whataboutism by Republicans. So there's a guy, I don't remember his name, doesn't matter. He brought Charlamagne the God on his show. He talks about how Kamala Harris, she's the current VP for Joe Biden. She's running for the contender for president 2024, first female. And he said basically she has no kids. So what does she have for the future of America? Does she have a place in the future of America? Her not having kids. And it's so juvenile and it's so dumb that like something inside me was like, if I was there, I'd be like, my presence is no longer further warranted in this conversation. It's so dumb. Let's talk about it. Kamala Harris had to work hard to get where she's at. There's a lot of women out here like that. They choose not to have children. Or maybe they've had a kid, maybe they've had a relationship that was serious, didn't go right, and they just was like, F it. I'm not gonna dodge the bullet. We'll never know. We'll never know that about her, whether that happened or not. She might have had a bad relationship and just been like, I'm off gas for a while. I think that her making it to be VP for Joe Biden under a pretty successful president, if I may say so myself, and now the first black, I ain't talking about Shirley Chisholm, she was the first, but the first black female that has a chance to actually get it in the White House. To me, it just says everything she's done up to here has been largely successful, hasn't it? It would be like if I got rich some kind of way and I was like, why don't you go to the club? We never seen you in the bar up here. We don't see you getting drunk, and we don't see you, going to jail. We don't see you out here acting crazy. And it's like, yeah, because if I had done that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. You don't have to like me, but you do have to take that into consideration. Maybe that's how he got to where he's at today. And it's another example of, and the guy we're talking about is like an Arab or Indian or something, I don't know, of how they don't understand that for black people, we don't have a lot of this. We don't have a lot of Botham Johns. We don't have a lot of black people that are like PhD level, and we don't. We don't. And when Botham John got killed by a woman, a Dallas police woman, for nothing, well, that means more than just Pookie and something like that. It means more for us when you talk like this, that you've got a person that has really buckled down and has made it and has grabbed the brass ring for what that matters. I think that it's like when I hear people talk, us in British radio shows talking about Obama, he should have went harder on Putin, and I'm like, bruh, Obama's half black. A lot of Republicans didn't want to work with him because he was black. We see how bloodthirsty and wicked Putin is, how bloodthirsty he's willing to be to prove his point. And if Obama had went in with Putin and he started losing a lot of people, that would have hurt Obama for a second term. He's not white. Don't act as though it was this post-racial moment and like America put racism. That's not what happened under Obama. It's not. You don't have to agree with everything he did, but don't act as though he was given the same latitude of a white man. He did not. Obama went after the things he was voted in to do. Like it or not, that's what he was elected to do. Whereas Trump is just culture war after culture war after culture war. I just think that my concerns about Kamala aside, the fact she didn't have kids has nothing to do with her validity as a person's candidate. You can disagree with her. That's fine. That's valid. Then what does Trump have to do for the future of America? What does Trump have for young people? Have you looked at the polls of the things Trump said, Republicans say, and how hated they are by young people? Have you looked at a poll lately? I don't think that Trump has a connection to young people at all. I don't climate change and all that. I think that, the idea that having kids give you connection. Listen, this is just like that conversation with Nikki Haley, the VP, the woman ran for president, maybe running for president with Trump, I don't know. But she was the governor of South Carolina. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, she's an Indian. A lot of white guys were making fun and all that. And I'm like, you don't even get it. This is what passing is. This just showed me how out of orbit white men are. That's called passing. That's what my grandfather would say. It's called passing. She changed her name. You know she had done stuff to her skin. She had babies with a white man. I guess they're now white. I mean, she's done everything she could possibly do to be accepted by the white community. And it worked out. She became the governor of South Carolina. It worked. That boat can float. That dog can hunt. It just, and the fact that you can't understand the other races. I don't know anything about Hindus or Indians. I don't know anything about their struggle. I don't mean to misalign it or downplay it in any way. That isn't the point of this. The point is just that all kind of people make sacrifices every damn day. Plenty of people are fighting a war, fighting a battle you know nothing about. And you don't have any right to misalign, to downplay them just because they don't play the game the way you think they should play the game. That's not right. And ultimately, I just want a person that's got the best design for the country. Like Michael Brooks said, we spend too much time with personal lives and spend too much time on this stuff. Even when people I don't like, I still find myself thinking, we're spending too much time on. I don't watch TMZ. No one I know watches too. We don't watch TMZ. I don't care about what people do in their personal lives. It just for me, I just don't think. It's just amazing to me how Republicans think too that for the longest growing up, Republicans were all about like what they want and like climate change isn't real. We don't believe in this, and a lot of Republican thinking is short-term thinking. And to hear a Republican now saying that Kamala Harris not having, children means that she's not a good candidate. I don't get that. It's so weird. Like I had a guy say to me, no more Democrat wars. I said, and what's the last war a Democrat started? I'm still waiting for an answer. It's like that. I just don't want to spend too much time on nonsense because it's just so far outside of A, what I think is important as a president, B, what most Americans are concerned about, and C, is pseudo low-key kind of racism and sexism. That's all it is. I don't care about their personal life. I never have. I never will. This is a point where we've got to get Trump away from the reins of power by any means necessary. Yeah, I don't think Kamala is a bad candidate. And I know that no matter what, she's going to have the same with Joe Biden. This is the point. If Biden was to go down, God forbid, if he was to become incapacitated, the people around him would keep the train going. I think everybody would agree with that. If Trump gets reelected and goes crazy, or maybe he's going crazy, we don't know about behind the scenes, he's getting drugged up, we don't know. The people around him would turn this into a wasteland, a hellhole overnight. That's the difference. Kamala is one of the people behind Joe Biden. It's like Anthony Blinken and others that would keep the train on the tracks. That's the point. I'm sure Biden's going to still be behind the scenes if she gets elected. There's still going to be some conversation. Oh, you should probably do this. She is his employee. So she understands behind the scenes what the plan is, long-term plans and all that. It takes about 4 years to get your ideas and things into motion. It takes another 4 years to really cement the things that, it takes time to get stuff cemented for the cases, Supreme Court cases and Congress to vote on stuff. It takes time, especially in our divided Congress today. It takes time to get these things cemented and voted on and enshrined into law in some cases. I just think that it shows you. I know it's an Indian guy. I know that it shows you how out of touch conservatives are with the plight of working women, with the plight of people, of non-white persons that are productive and that actually reach brass rings. It shows just how out of touch that a woman can have all these things and degrees and letters and all this to her name, but at the end of the day, all they care about is she doesn't have a bunch of kids, which to me is another one of those stereotypes about black women of we'll be ignorant and have a bunch of kids running around acting wild and screaming and stuff, and she doesn't fit that. So I feel like sometimes there's an inability to really make stereotypes, and so they complain about that I don't have a stereotype, and to me that's what this is. I can't stereotype you, and that hurts my argument. Thanks for listening.